Yeah, this here is my backup truck. My other truck, my rear end went out, and that was in Ogallala, Nebraska. And the rear end went out, and your throttle, it will just keep winging it where the drive shaft will move, so your speedometer will go up, and you'll see the indication of this going down to nothing. It's freewheeling. And when I stopped, I put the interaxle divider on, and that's this one here. And this shaft here actually goes to the one in the rear first. Then you interaxle divider that, and I had that on. I'll show you. This is a Peterbilt. It's a 95. My backup truck here. I call it Little One. It's a nice little truck. It's a 95. It's really nice. But when you turn on the interaxle divider itself, I was running this. I ran it for about 5 miles. And this hub here broke and was walking out. And the whole hub here was together. And when it walked out, it heated up the drum. And the drum was red hot. And pulled out, and when it fell down and it hit the drum, it went in pieces, and that flew out in the side, and I had to put the fire out, and that started a fire in the field on the side of the freeway. I stamped that out, and it blew the inside tire, and then they're stopping many, these things come out and roll off in the field. But I stopped it when I was hanging out about a foot, and then I had a tow truck come and took it right to Ogallala, and that was about 4 miles away from that town. It's a very nice town, good people, and you'll see that when I got there, it was really a big mess when it comes to the damage, which I'll show you. And when that pulled out, then I was stuck on the side waiting for the tow truck. We went ahead and took all the tires off, chained it, and then left the interaxle divider on, and then I went ahead and just drove it, connected, fully loaded, 80,000 pounds, and to the next exit, 80 miles, and then over the freeway and back to Ogallala. And that was a 10-mile drive back, and then getting up and over right to the shop there. And then I waited, and then we have a tow truck in Wisconsin, picked up this one, Little One. This is my backup truck. It's a good 95. And this one here towed it right back where I was sitting, and swapped it and brought that back to the shop here. That's big time because 2 rear ends have to be looked at. Engines are rebuilt. Tranny will probably be looked at with that just to check everything out. But that's the story of why I have my backup out, hooked up to 1400. This is 160. This is a really nice one. I had this truck for many years ago. I put many miles on this. I drove this to Chicago and all the way to California, and I did this every week with this truck. I put a lot of miles on it, and then they rebuilt the engine. Now it's back on the road. It's been rebuilt a couple times because of the age. It's a 1995. It's a good Peterbilt. It's pretty old, but a lot of old dogs really like it. It's almost like an Army juice and a half. It's all centered properly, and it's legal. It's even got the mufflers and all that. Nice wing on top for aerodynamic. And this is what we have here. It's not really good for a backup truck. This one here is really a good cat in here. Because of the mountains and all that, I have a 13-speed. And with this cat, it's really a good setup here. And we put some love in here, but it's one of our old ones. So original trucks we've had for many years, since 95. So anytime we have problems, this one's our little rescue one. It always comes and it's our backup. And it's really a strong one, and it's a good workhorse. Pulls mountains real good. You'll see my videos how it goes through the snow and all that. It really hugs the road real good. And it's just waiting to come out here again. So it's out here working. And it's been sitting all winter, and It's really good in the summer, but in the spring here, I'll get this thing all looking nice again. Of course, I'll dress the tires. Well, here's 120 back in the shop again. You can see the damage here. This whole drive here got pulled out. I'm trying to look for the axle. The axle must have broke off. But here's the hub. You see the axle in there must have broke off because that slides all the way out. This here just fell right off of it. Once it hung, the drum hung on here. It just, all the weight, 34,000 pounds on the brakes on the top started a fire. And these pieces here fell off. It just really hung on there. All that weight just pushed on here and got red hot. And then it started walking all the way out. When it walked out, you see it open this drum up. Well, that's big damage right there. A lot of these wheels, if you don't watch in your mirrors all the time, I saw sparks coming out, and that's when I pulled over. But with this here, many people just let them fly off and it goes down the road or in the field. And I caught it before it did all that, but that's what this would have done. Normally the axle would slide all the way out. It looks like it broke. But this is big damage here, this here. That's where you start looking at it's cheaper to get a whole axle or how it breaks down. If not, it's one piece. You have to get the whole axle because of this damage here. But that's the only big part here once this gets torn off. And they just cut it and see what kind of threads it is. But it looks like it got banged around.
normally the axle would be replaced. Looking at these leaf springs, didn't pull at all.
And the other rim got melted. I don't know where that's at. The tow truck just brought this right back in the shop. But yeah, these two drives here just pulled right off of the axle. So I had to bring in my backup truck.
Here's a mystery. It's all about this nut right here. This nut here is still on, and that's right here. This nut actually unscrews, and then this hub on this bearing slides out. And if you look at the hub that slides in, the axle broke in the middle. And then in here must have broke all along here. But if you look on the other side, you can see what it looks like when you take this axle off. And you can see that there's the nut. And you can see in here that there's safety on here, and these are little grooves here that you pound over once you tighten this nut in. But when this nut unscrews out, then this whole hub comes out. But taking these bolts off here, these nuts, and this here slides the axle out, and the axle goes right into to the rear end, the pumpkin they call it, in the middle. But it looks like this part here stayed on, so it right behind it, where the bearing is, where I'm pointing, it must have broke, and it broke from there, because this stayed and everything's pulled away from all of this. And you can see the safety, these tabs here that you bend and you can unscrew it. There's one more, there's two more left, it looks like, and then you can unscrew this nut and slide this out. But that's what it's supposed to look like. And then let me see what it looks like here. Now you look at the damage, and you can see where everything on the side here got broke right off. And that bearing here, you can see where it slid in, but this part here didn't unscrew, and this part here broke off. But that's the damage. And then doing that, the whole housing's messed up here, and you have to replace that. So you can see the project you have when it comes to taking everything apart. And as you can see, the pumpkin's all open. Shafts are all set. But the main thing is getting both rear ends done. If one's done, you get the other one. And that's another project. As you can see, they took the shafts off. It's all about opening up this pumpkin and redo that. And this one here, you have to get a new housing. And this housing is over here. That's why you tow it home. It's a lot cheaper. And this is the rear end that's going to be replacing it now. And the main thing is checking in here to make sure they look good. And this is the axle that slides out. Same with this side here. So when that damage is that bad where these threads are pretty well toasted, you have to replace the whole housing. And this one came with the drums and all that. We usually do it piece by piece. But this will be all taken off, and as you can see inside, what it looks like when the axle slides in. And then you can see that this here is in the middle, so this actually spins, and this one spins to the back. When you lock your axle divider, then this will lock into here, and you'll see that it's all wet drive. And this is the inside guts of it. That's what it looks like inside the bucket when you take it off. I'll give you an idea of how complicated the machine work all this is. Piece of metal will be needed all into this. It all started in the fabricating department. Usually it's all in racing first, and then they bought it out of tractors. And this is the whole piece. So I'll bring it to the shop and put it all back together. In about a month, then my truck will be back on the road, and my backup will be my backup again.